Okay, so for tonight I'm putting together some wonderful Brussels sprouts here, and I'm going, I did saute them a little just so you don't get totally bored with watching me saute, and I have some quinoa boiling here in behind, and so if you put them on both together, the broccoli or the Brussels sprouts actually cook a little quicker than the quinoa, but that's okay. Just put it on high, lots of water, and the quinoa will probably be in about another 5 minutes. So that gives me time to put together the Brussels sprouts. So I don't like them too well done, so I've got them nice and almost tender crisp here. So I'm just going to, actually I'm going to just leave them on very low. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit on the quinoa. So what I've done is I've sauteed them here with just a little bit of ginger and water. That's all I'm using is ginger and water. And now I'm going to, just for a few minutes, put a little high heat on and add a little bit of coconut oil for flavor. So I want to get them so that they've got just a little bit of oil, makes it nicer. So that's about a heaping tablespoon of coconut oil. And then I've got just a few of the little sun-dried tomatoes. I find them a little bit strong if you use too many. So I'm just using a few that I have rinsed and drained because I don't really care for the oil that they come in. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to, I just squished some garlic, and so I am going to now saute with just a little bit, probably a good teaspoon of garlic. I like lots of garlic. Okay, and I am going to add a little bit of apple. Normally I don't like adding fruits with other foods because of the enzymes, and you know, you really should only have fruit when you 20 minutes before a meal or 2 hours after, because it'll digest faster. But if you cook it, it's not so bad. Whoops, look at that flying along here. So I'm just going to add a few little bits of apple, but I do plan on cooking it entirely so that the enzymes are gone and so that there's no problem with digesting. Okay, just a little bit of apple for flavor. And I am going to add about 3 tablespoons of sunflower seeds and actually, what is that? 3 tablespoons of walnuts, just for a little bit of protein. And have this on high and just stir fry it a little bit. So you've got a little bit of the flavor of the sun-dried tomatoes mixing with the apples, give it a little bit of flavor, and the coconut oil. So I'm just going to put that, actually real quick, I'm going to put it on high as I turn off the quinoa, because the quinoa actually is done, so that's cool. A little bit of Himalayan sea salt while this sautés. A little bit of cayenne, which I always love. And just get that just enough for the apples to soften. Okay, so we're just going to get that going here. And then I'm going to serve it with my beautiful salad that I made, which is the kale and pepper salad. It's on the it's on my website too. It looks beautiful, so I'm going to serve it with that. While I'm waiting for this to get nice and soft, get that sun-dried tomato flavor, and then the nuts add a little bit of protein. They're raw, of course. You always want to have your nuts raw. Quinoa is perfect. I don't know if you can see it there, if we have enough light for quinoa. It's lovely. It's got steam. I'm actually going to leave it off the stove. Okay. Now we're just going to heat up those apples. A little high heat. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to add. I put them here so I wouldn't forget. Some organic cranberries. Just a few for a little bit of sweetness. 2 tablespoons. Okay, give it another stir here. Oops, don't throw the cranberries onto the other burner when it's hot because they'll stick to your beautiful stove. Whoop, don't be throwing the food out of the dish either, it doesn't cook very well when it hits the floor. Okay, so Look at that. Oh, little pepper. Pepper always looks good. You know, just before serving, you don't have to use much, just enough to look good. Have a look at that. Wow, doesn't that look lovely? Beautiful. And it's cooking away there. Okay, so there'll be another picture on my website with it all done, and it is just lovely looking. I'm going to turn that off, see if I can give you a better view. Look at that, mixing all the coconut oil. Looks good. Okay, it's ready. Time to eat.